Welcome to the Unfuck Your Fitness podcast. I am your host, Christy Castillo, and I'm here to give you real talk and cut the BS so you can actually enjoy building a body you love. I'm a personal trainer obsessed with giving you simple action steps to take you from feeling stuck to feeling sexy. Let's go. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to today's episode. Of course, I'm excited for this topic, but before I jump into the topic of the day, I really want to say thank you so much I have gotten a lot of DMs lately from you, just whether it be like encouraging me and letting me know that you appreciate my real talk, or letting me know that you are enjoying the episodes and that they are life-changing for you, whether you're just reaching out and saying, hey, I see you're from Michigan, what part, what's up, I've been there before, just relating to me, whether you are reaching out and saying, thank you for sharing your struggles because they resonate with you, whatever you're reaching out and chatting with me about in the DMs, I appreciate it so much. I also love that you say that you feel like we're friends already and you feel comfortable reaching out to me. And that's the goal. I mean, I sit here right now. I'm actually at my parents' house recording my podcast. Let's be real. Someday I'll maybe have a podcast studio and be all high class and fancy, but whatever. And if I'm at home recording podcast, I'm usually in my son's bedroom. These are just the quietest rooms that I can find, but that's a little visual for you. It's nothing special, but we're still killing it and showing up. As I say, as a rule of thumb, you don't have to have like all the workout equipment, right? Just show up. But when I sit here and I get all comfy in my chair and I just pretend like one of my friends, one of my clients is sitting in front of me asking me for advice. And I want this to feel like that's how I feel the most comfortable. That's how I can just talk to you, because I really do feel like I'm talking to you, and I want you to feel that way too. Like I am approachable and we are friends and I do understand you. And so I just love that. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for reaching out to me. It means the world to me. Truly. Also, thank you for the reviews and the 5 stars that you've been leaving for the show. I love reading them too. I love reading that you are able to take the information that I'm giving you and apply it, really quickly to your life, that you're learning a lot, that it's practical. So just thank you. Thank you for being here, for letting me know. I think that's something that is really undervalued or maybe understood. I'm not sure how to say this, that if you are listening to someone's podcast or if you are on someone's social media, I put a lot of time into this, and I do this, yes, for myself because I thought it would be fun to start a podcast, but I do this for you, like us. I don't want to say that I'm an influencer. Somebody the other day in the DMs called me a creator, and I thought that was just cool, but I'm just a human. I'm just a mom. I'm just a girl. But it's so nice. So whenever you have something kind to say, and this goes for anyone, tell someone that you are enjoying their content or enjoying whatever they're doing, or you think they look pretty that day, or you can see the growth in them, or you love their shirt, or their eyes are beautiful. If you have a compliment to give to someone, just fucking give it, okay? Don't overthink it. Just do it. It goes a long ways. So I digress. That is all. That's all for now on that. Let's get into the topic because I'm quite excited about it. Per usual, we are going to be talking about something. Well, we're going to be talking about how and why to set your environment up for success. And I'm not going to be doing this in the way that I think you've heard it before. I mean, how to actually set yourself up for success, how to actually set up your environment for success. I'm not going to be talking about morning routines and meal prep and, scheduling everything in and those practical tips. I like practical tips in the sense that those would be practical, right? Like set a morning routine, whatever. But I think that's kind of BS in a sense. Those things never worked for me. And that's one of the reasons I started this podcast, was to tell you rather, what does work for me. And if you are someone like me who hears things like, okay, meal prep, meal plan, and plan your workouts and look ahead and XYZ, right? Like all the basic things that you hear and you're like, that does not work for me. I hate morning routines. That'd be me. So I had to figure out like what works for me. And I'm sick of hearing all this basic information that just seems very redundant. Everyone's saying it and it's like, no, that's not working anymore. So I want to talk about your environment, like what it actually is, what it means, and hopefully, like it does for me, this will show you what you actually have to do and what could be actually holding you back. It's not as simple as setting your alarm and getting up and meal prepping and meal planning. And because honestly, that, like I said, it doesn't work for me. Could it work for me? Maybe, but it doesn't naturally work for me. And I'm done fighting against things that don't naturally work for me. And what the real situation is, what the real problem is like your environment isn't set up for your success. So what is your environment? It's your thoughts. It's your social media, what you see. It's your friends. It's your family. It's your home. It's your car. It's your job. It's literally what you see and what you do and what you are surrounded by daily. This is your environment. If your environment is not set up for success, you will not succeed. And you are not the problem. Your environment could be the problem. If you've heard or seen that analogy of like, if a flower isn't growing in a certain environment, you don't blame the flower and get mad at the flower. Like if you're just giving the water sunshine and no water, that's not the flower's fault that it's not growing. You have to treat the flower better. You have to change the environment, right? So this is huge, right? Like all those things, your thoughts, your friends, your family, your social media, your home, your car, your job, all the things that I listed. That's a lot of stuff, but it's really simple when you think about it. And getting these things set up, getting your environment, set up for success or changed or however, like that really will affect not just your fitness, your success in your fitness journey, but your success in life. And so a few questions that I ask myself and that I ask my clients at times when they struggle with this is like, as far as your environment, what are you hearing on a daily, hourly basis? What are you seeing? And this goes really into social media. What are you hearing in the background? What kinds of podcasts are you listening to? What are you seeing on your phone? What are you watching on television and or on your phone? How are you feeling because of these things? So when you think about what you do a lot of the time, when I'm on my phone now, I don't scroll a lot on social media, and I catch myself watching something, a TikTok or a reel, and I will literally say out loud, I do not care. And I will turn my phone off and put it down. It's like that awareness. And that's really what all of this is that I'm talking about today, is just awareness. So when you're on your phone or you're watching TV, and there's nothing wrong with mindless, I guess there is a lot wrong with mindless scrolling in a sense that it does create a lot of this dopamine, and it does put things, we are seeing and hearing things that do seep into our brain and into our being. We think it's mindless scrolling, but it's not. So I say there's nothing wrong with like mindless scrolling. And I mean that in the sense that, yeah, there's nothing wrong with sitting down and letting your mind wander a little bit and just chilling, right? People used to say like, it's the same as watching TV, but it's not really. Watching a TV show 30 minutes from start to finish with a storyline, a plot is a lot different than like a continuous 30-second or 1 minute dopamine hit with these reels on your phone. So it's like, there's a lot going on there. But aside from that, what are you hearing constantly on your phone? Is it fitness things? Is it health things? Is it whatever it is? What are you hearing and what are you seeing? How are you feeling all day? Being surrounded by certain people, the things you're hearing, the things you're seeing. How do you feel when you get home? And right now my house actually is cluttered and kind of driving me crazy. I'm in the process of kind of cleaning out. So this is kind of why this popped in my head, because I'm going to be talking about some of these things. How do you feel when you get home? Do you feel relaxed? How do you feel when you get in your car? Is your car covered in shit and there's not literal, but there's just stuff everywhere. You can't see your floorboards. It's disgusting. And you feel when you get in your car, you feel like, okay, this is dirty. Like, how do you feel? I understand like your job, maybe you can't change that and that's fine. I did have that on the list, but do you see how all of these things make you feel like, so right, let's say you just got out of your job, you're driving home in your dirty car, eating some food from, the fast food wherever that kind of makes your stomach feel like shit. You get home and your house is a mess because you've been putting off laundry and dishes and everything's piling up. And then somehow you're supposed to go in, make dinner, work out, go for a walk, kind of like change. And it's like your environment is not set up to have you do that. So that's kind of where this is going. That's kind of where I want to go with this. That is the goal of just not looking at your fitness journey like separately, but really noticing that your life, your thoughts, what you hear, what you see, all of this stuff matters. It really does matter. Your environment as a whole matters. And I do a cleanup of my environment quite a bit because it frustrates me enough and I'm aware enough to know that I will go through and unfollow people on social media. And if I feel like I might miss them, I'll go into my notes section and write down their handle or their name. And I'm like, okay, if I do miss them and their content someday, I'll go to my notes section, remember what their name was. If I don't remember their name though, do I really need them on social media? But I'll do that just in case. But I will go through and unfollow because I'm sick of hearing and seeing things that don't serve me. And I don't need that stuff in my brain all of the time. Something for me, just to give you kind of a visual, is I love food. I'm not a food person as far as like for my Instagram, my social media, my job. That's not my niche. That's not my expertise. I can tell you what to eat. I help my clients all the time with what to eat, but I do not make pretty reels. I do not make pretty food. That's not my thing. But if I follow enough fitness, quote unquote, influencers or whatever, and I see them posting their food and these recipes and the macros, and it's all great, it makes me think, Christy, you're not doing a good job. You should be posting about food. You should be posting these pretty reels about food and make it simple and make the video. And I will even sometimes try when I'm making, this is laughable, when I'm making a protein shake because that's all I eat, whatever. Yesterday I was making my famous 2 packages of tuna. I put hummus in it. I put salsa in it. I warm it up for like 20 seconds in the microwave. I eat it with tortilla chips. It's so good. It's like 31 grams of protein. I tried to like film it. I did film it actually. And then I went back and I was like, did you really think you were going to make a reel out of this? Like, what are you doing? But those things are just something that creeps into my mind that I will now waste time on trying to make a meal that I maybe don't even freaking eat. Try to make a reel about it to share with you. And I'm like, no, that's not you, Christy. So like I will unfollow those people. So if there are people that are making you compare or question your journey or question your self-worth, or if you're just sick of feeling a certain way, unfollow those people. And you can do this in real life with your friends and other people as well. So let's get into, I have 5 things that we're going to be talking about. Number 1 is to clean up your space. I mean, really, really clean up your space. As I was just talking about, when you walk into your home, if you walk into certain rooms of your home, if you open closets and you think stuff's going to fall on your head or something, I mean, that stuff stresses me out. There are times when I'm like, okay, I don't have time to clean this or really organize or whatever. And that's fine. You can set it aside. But there's also a time when you need to circle back and actually get rid of things. So, I mean, really, really think about your space. This will be your car. This will be your home. This will be your bedrooms. This will be your outside. If you pull up to your house and you're like, oh my God, I really need to pull these weeds. This has been stressing me out for weeks. Like, do it. This is the time. Use one of your rest days and, get some steps in by walking around your home, by walking around your car and throwing trash away, whatever it is, right? Really, really clean your home. I'm talking about organize it, opening your cupboards, opening your closets, going into different rooms, and for goodness sakes, throw stuff away. There's a lot less stuff to organize if you throw away the stuff that you don't need. Trust me, I like the feeling of throwing stuff away, but I'm always like, I might need this. You won't. You will not need it. You won't. So really clean it up. Organize your home, organize your space, throw stuff away, freshen things up. Paint little things. I am all for just kind of cleaning things up and painting the, picture frames on, or the frames of a mirror, or get new doorknob handles or little drawer pulls, or just little things like that that'll make you feel like that make a big change in rooms. No, I am not an interior decorator, but these are just little things that don't cost a lot that it makes you feel good. Buy a couple new rugs, for your bathrooms, buy a new shower curtain, whatever you need to do, but just really, really clean it, organize your space, throw stuff away, freshen it up. But cleaning up your space goes a long ways in the sense of feeling accomplished, feeling like it's clean. When you look around, you feel good and not stressed out by the clutter and organize the papers that you have piling up and the bills that you have piling up. Like, go pay those. Like, really do the things so that when you look around your space that you live in, your environment, that it feels clean. I cannot stress this enough. There are times when I just honestly struggle because I look around and feel so overwhelmed. I'll go to start my workout, and like on my way down the stairs out to the garage, I will think like, oh, I need to do laundry. I need to pick up that pile of whatever. I need to move those shoes. And probably I should stop and take the 3 minutes it would take to do that. But instead I don't. And then I'll be stressed out during my workout. So I digress. Clean up your space is number one. Number two, clean up your friends. Clean up the people around you. Know who is worthy of your time and know who is sucking the life out of you. Know that even if you do have to take some time for yourself to clean up your space or to do the things we're going to talk about in the next few tips that I have here, that real friends will stick around. If you're like, hey, I can't go to girls' night this week. I have a few things to do. I'm trying to work on my health and fitness. I'm trying to clean up my house. I'm trying to clean up my environment. Whatever you need to say, right? Know that there are people you can trust. There are people that you can't. There are people you want to have close in your circle. And I talk to a lot of different people, of course, women, and they will say, like, there are people in my circle that don't understand my journey. There are people that are really bringing me down if I don't go to girls' night, or if I don't show up to every family dinner every single Sunday, I'll get hell from my parents or whatever it is. And it's like, are those really your people? Are those really your friends? Are those really supportive humans you want in your life if they don't understand that you need a day to yourself, that you need some time to yourself to work on yourself, for God's sake? So just kind of take an audit of who you are spending the most time around. And are you the one that's always maybe giving in a relationship? Are you the one that's always dropping everything that you have going on to be there for a certain friend or a certain person, and you're the one that's dropping everything and they're maybe not being as respectful of your time? So just kind of pay attention to what you're getting in return. I'm not saying that, you have to be getting something always from a friendship or a relationship, but there are people in your life that can just suck the life out of you, point blank. That's what I'm saying. So clean up your friends. These are the people around you. This is your support. They are supposed to be pouring into you. And if people are sucking the life out of you, pay attention to how you feel around certain people. And this leads me into number 3, which is to set boundaries with others and yourself. If you need to write down a list of things for yourself that you need from someone else, you need space, you need more time with, you have to communicate those things, but also set those boundaries with yourself. If you are doing too much, if you have too much going on, you are overwhelmed and you are stressed, you have to set boundaries with your time. You have to set boundaries with your energy because it sucks the life out of you. And so there's nothing wrong with asking for help, and there's nothing wrong with saying no. If you don't have time, mamas, to go to PTO meetings and make homemade cookies anymore for the bake sales and show up for every single event and volunteer for everything, and you need to say, no, I can't do that anymore. Oh, well, it's fine. And if you need a pep talk on that, I'm here, because those are things that I am very quick to say no to, and I always have been. And I will help, don't get me wrong. It's not that I've turned everyone down if they ask for help, but I'm very conscious of, no, I cannot do that. I will feel like I spread myself too thin, and I just can't do that. I can donate in another way if you'd like. I can buy cookies from the store, but I'm not going to make them for your bake sale. So just setting boundaries with yourself. Pay attention to little things like that take your time, take your energy, stress you out. Set the boundary with yourself. Set the boundary with others. And just clean up that part of your life. If you're giving and giving and giving, and you're always going shopping for something, for the school or for friends or whatever it is in your life. I hear so many stories from women that are just like, I don't have time for this because I have to go to this meeting, and I have to volunteer over here, and I have to set up for this event. And that's great. But also, is that where you want to be spending your time? If you're doing all of that and then you're saying, I don't have time for myself, I'm stressed out, I'm tapped out, I don't have time to work out, and that's what I really want to be doing, then it's time to figure out if that's really what you want to do. Number 4 is to clean up your mentality. Guys, we are really struggling when it comes to our mentality, and I don't want to say mental health because that's more of a deep thing, but I'll be honest, I really do think we are struggling a lot with mental health. I have a lot of conversations with women about body image and self-love, and having negative thoughts and these negative cycles that we get ourselves into, and not expressing needs, wants, not being able to take the time for ourselves, self-sabotage, and that's all mental. And there's nothing wrong with struggling mentally or with your mental health. We struggle with our physical health all the time, right? We're suffering and overweight, and our BMIs are, going crazy, and we have little muscle mass, and we feel sick sometimes, like we get physically sick. So your brain is a part of your body, and it gets sick sometimes too, and overwhelmed, and it's okay to struggle. But when I look around at, and I am just as guilty as how we live, being addicted to our phones, being addicted to consumption, being addicted to the next best thing, being addicted to not doing things that we'll say we'll do, and like making excuses for it, right? So we are really getting stuck and struggling mentally with a lot of things. And so I really want to challenge you to clean up your mentality. And a lot of this, what I previously talked about, cleaning up your space, setting boundaries with people in your life, cleaning up your friends list, cleaning up your social media. A lot of this will help with your mentality naturally. And another way to clean up your mentality and to kind of just spruce things up in that environment is to journal out your thoughts. I go through spurts with my own journaling. Right now I'm doing a journaling challenge inside of my app, but with a few ladies, and it's been really good. I mean, even the first week I had ladies that were like, this is huge for me. So journal your thoughts and really, ask yourself, what do you really want? Why do you really want it? And do you mean what you say? Do you really want that? Or are you just telling yourself, that you want those things? Are you just kind of BSing your way through this and not really wanting it? Because I'm a firm believer that if you really do want something, you'll make it happen. You'll figure it out. You'll say no to the things that aren't serving you. But you have to really kind of work through those things. And so that mentality piece is huge. And then lastly, number 5, I would say to plan your days ahead of time and stick to it. This is one of those things that's not so much like a cleaning up your environment. And this is one of those things that everybody says, right? Plan your days. But I mean, I want you to look at it in a different way. You really do have limited time. You really do only have 24 hours in a day. And a lot of those, hopefully, you are sleeping around 6 to 8 of those hours. You have to control your time and you have to spend it wisely. Time really is something that obviously you cannot get back, right? And for me, this means doing a lot less on purpose. I do say no to a lot of extra things. I say no to a lot of watching TV and hanging out a lot with friends. Of course, I do love my friend time, but it has to be in a way that's going to serve me and with people that really do love me and really do appreciate me and that I also like love and appreciate. It has to be very, very genuine. Otherwise, I would just rather not. So planning your days ahead of time is something that is really helpful. And I don't mean like to the T. I just mean like, what days are you going to work out? Plan your workouts on days that are actually doable. Don't say you're going to work out on a day when you're like, I don't know if I can actually get it in, but I'm going to say that I'm going to. No, don't do that. But plan out your week a little bit. If you have ball games, every night of the week, what are you going to be eating for dinner? How can you be cleaning up your space? How can you ask for help? How can you make things a little more simple? And also, what can you do less of? Because you can't create more time but in the day, but you can create more time for yourself by doing less. So a prime example of that would be scrolling. I think we scroll a lot on social media, and even like sitting down to eat a snack or something, we can start scrolling on our phones and just the scrolling time goes far beyond the snack eating time, right? Like you can be done eating your snack and still 20, 30 minutes later, we're still watching things on social media. So just be very mindful of the amount of time you're spending doing certain things. And I think that is really helpful for me in doing a lot less and creating the environment that I benefit from and that I feel good in and that feels like it's conducive to my needs is huge. And this is the stuff that really matters when it comes to setting up your environment for success. It's not the meal prepping. It's not the meal planning. Yes, that stuff tangibly matters. And yes, setting up an exact routine for your day, that stuff matters, but only when this other stuff is cleaned up first. If your mentality and if your physical environment isn't conducive to meet your goals and to de-stress you and to, allow you to have the time and the flexibility and that brain space to be able to focus on yourself, the meal prepping, meal planning won't mean anything if the things around you are a mess and you feel like your life is in shambles or your home is in shambles. So if you are anything like me, and I think that you are, this is the stuff that really, really matters. So I hope that you take some time to set your environment up for success. This is something I really think is a game changer. There are a lot of times when I have clients come to me and they're like, I just can't get motivated. I don't know what's going on. I'm all in. And I think a lot of times that comes with, purchasing a program and you think that it's those tangible things, right? You purchase a program and you're like going to start counting your macros and you're going to start drinking your water and working out every single day. And you start to neglect, like only focus on your health and fitness, and you start to neglect everything around you, not realizing that those things matter. And so when you can take some time out and really just kind of take inventory of your environment and you realize how much that matters, just like your mindset, your environment, what you hear, what you see, who you surround yourself with matters so much more than probably. Once you really, really take the time to do the things that I talked about in this episode and really, really clean up your environment, I think you will find it easier to just function in general, and it will seem a little more peaceful on the outside, which will cause you to feel a little more peaceful on the inside. And don't underestimate the fact that simple is best. Please don't underestimate that. The less stuff you have, the less things you have on your mind, the simpler your life is. The more simple your fitness routine is and your workouts are, the easier all of this becomes. So I hope this was really helpful. I hope this opened your eyes to a different way of cleaning up your environment and what that actually looks like and some things that could keep you stuck without you even knowing. I am, as usual, looking forward to all the DMs and all the messages from you talking about this episode and hopefully all of the good things that it made you think of that you could clean up, get rid of, and the ways that you could clean up your own environment. Please share them with me. I would love if there's something you think I missed, or if there's something that you do or spruce up, please share it with me. I love ideas. I am all about us doing this together. So thank you for being here. I will talk to you next week.
Thanks for listening to today's show. Go ahead and leave a rating and a review. And of course, follow the podcast so you don't miss out on any future episodes. And I would love it so much if you came to connect with me over on Instagram at Christy Castillo Fit. I will see you next time.